not mine, but the ones I've encountered over my career and that have been the most helpful. And they're all used in the book. First of all, what the wise man does in the beginning, the fool does in the end. In every trend in investing, it eventually becomes overdone. If you find an asset which is cheap and buy it, that's great. If everybody else figures it out that it's cheap, then it'll go up. Then people see that it's rising, and more people jump on the bandwagon, goes up, up, up. And the last person to buy it is a fool, and the first person to buy it is a wise man. It's the same asset, just at different prices. And as people say, first the innovator, then the imitator, then the idiot. So that's another way to look at this adage. Number two, never forget the 6-foot-tall man who drowned crossing the stream that was 5 feet deep on average, kind of like that skydiver who's right 98% of the time. It's not sufficient, depending on how you want to live your life, to survive on average. We have to survive on the bad days. So we have to be able to survive the low spots in the stream. Your portfolio has to be set up to survive on the bad days, so you won't be shaken out of your investments. And then finally, being too far ahead of your time is indistinguishable from being wrong. And yet that's a great challenge because, as I said before, the things that are supposed to happen will not necessarily happen, and they absolutely will not happen on time. So you have to be able to live until the wisdom of your decisions is proved, if at all. So all of these things, I think, say something about modesty and humility of belief rather than cocksureness, which I think is the greatest risk. So with that, Saurabh, I'll stop talking, and we have a little time left, and I'd love to take your questions. That's what I'm here for.
Thank you, Howard. This was fascinating. So we are open for questions. Please raise your hand, and I'll bring the mic to you.
The thing you said about what the wise man does in the beginning, the fool does in the end, you can come up from a single stock, and you can think about your whole philosophy that way. So you've been focusing here on avoiding losers. And maybe humans are kind of generally focused on trying to find winners. Maybe that's what we'll always do wrong. But if everybody in the world is trying to avoid losers, maybe the wise investor now shoots for the winners. Do you know what I mean? Sort of self-balancing.
Sure. Well, number one, I don't think that we have to worry about everybody becoming too prudent or too wise, because we're talking about human nature. Charlie Munger, the boys went to see Charlie Munger this week. One of the great quotes that Charlie gave me was from the philosopher Demosthenes, who said, "For that which a man wishes, that he will believe." What do most people want more than anything else? They want to get rich. Very few people think that the future, the secret to their happiness comes from prudence and caution. Most people think it comes from that stroke of genius, which will put them on easy street. But you're absolutely right. And there are times when most people behave in a prudent and cautious manner. When is it? It's in a crash, when security prices are down here, right? That's the time to turn aggressive and buy.